There's too much stuff happening.
For what time?
Ah! Siri. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am the Diabetic Cactus is what I was about to say. My name is Sarah and I've had type 1 diabetes for over 20 years, so this channel is just about my life with diabetes. I'm making a video today because I've been on the pump. I have the really long tubing right now, so I'm like, ooh, how far can I make this go without ripping it out of my body? I'm making this video today because I've been on the pump for just shy of 6 months. Yikes, it looks like I've had it for multiple years. It's all scratched up. I don't know how it got scratched up, but anyway, I've been on the pump for about 6 months, so I thought I would do a comparison video from the pump to pens. So I was on pens before, and if you don't know before that, my history is I've been on the pump for 6 months. I was on the pen for 2 years. Before that, I was on the Omnipod. Before that, I was on Tandem. It's been a very long journey and process, and it's just been crazy. But I kind of made a pros and cons list in my head. I wrote down what I thought I could, mentally, to just pace myself a little bit. But I will start by saying both of these. This is the InPen insulin, smart insulin pen. It's amazing. If you're on pens and you don't want to be on a pump, I would highly, highly, highly suggest this. It's great. I like having it, knowing that I could kind of bump back and forth if I wanted to. So I don't feel like, oh, I have to use the pump or I have to use the pen. I can kind of switch back and forth, which kind of goes with my philosophy of diabetes, of having the ability to kind of change things up every now and then so you don't get burnt out from doing the same thing every day, all the time. It's just refreshing to kind of if you have the ability to change it up. So that's kind of why I switched from pens to the pump. I love pens. There was nothing wrong with using pens, especially the insulin pen or the InPen. But I just was for my frame of mind and just for with having diabetes, I'm gonna put this on before I drop it and rip my pump side out. I can't totally remember exactly what I was saying, but it's just good to be able to switch it up every now and then. I definitely advocate for that and believe in that. So yeah. So let's start with the InPen. Now the InPen, as I said, is a phenomenal device. So it is a smart insulin pen that hooks up to your iPhone, and you can log all the doses. I have a ton of videos of me using this where it sends your dose via Bluetooth to your phone. When you take it, you can see your insulin on board. It has mealtime reminders. It will remind you to take your long-acting insulin. It really is it's like a pump and a pen. It is just, I kind of miss using it, but I really like the pump. But it's a great, what do you call that? Not a compromise, but a alternative? I don't know. The InPen is great. I really don't have anything bad to say about the actual pen. It's more the mechanics of using pens versus a pump. So my plus side of using pens is you can inject anywhere. I could inject on my arms, on my legs, my stomach. I didn't really use my butt because who's gonna reach behind and stab yourself in the butt, you know what I'm saying? Where I put my pump sites on my upper buttocks. Total side note. But really I feel you can inject almost anywhere. It's less to travel with, which I do miss, especially because I'm traveling a little more, and traveling with pump supplies can be a little overwhelming. Where before I feel I just throw this and maybe a vial or what do you call that? Oh, a cartridge or two of insulin and a bunch of pen caps, and that was really it. Much easier to travel with versus the bulkiness of pump sites and pump supplies and do you have everything and blah blah blah. It can get a little overwhelming. This was less overwhelming to travel with, also very easy to go through TSA with. I need to mute my watch. Easy to go through TSA with. I just put it in my bag through the scanner thing and no one ever questioned me. So easier to travel with. The downside, my list here that I'm reading this off of kind of goes back and forth. You do always have to make sure you have it, where that's the one thing I like about the pump is it's attached to me, so it's hard to lose it. It would be really, really hard to lose your pump. But the pen, it would be much easier to lose because you have to make sure you have it with you, or did you leave the house and you're going out to dinner? Did you forget it? That's like a big deal. It just was, what's the word I'm looking for? Cumbersome? Whenever I say the word cumbersome, I think of Benedict Cumberbatch. Not what I'm trying to say. It just got kind of tiring making sure I had it, and like, I also live on the 3rd floor, so I feel like I would walk all the way down the stairs and be like, oh crap, is my pen upstairs? Most of the time it was in my bag, but I'd be like, oh, I do not want to walk back up the stairs to grab it, because walking upstairs is like really annoying. So always have to make sure you have it. You do need to have long-acting insulin, and that you have to take at a specific time. So, you know, if I was going out to dinner, I'd be like, okay, how long am I going to be there? Do I need to take both of my pens or just the one? Or like, what's the deal? That got a little bit tiring. And got to make sure you have multiple pen caps or the little things, little tiny needles. I don't have anything on here, but they're the little needles that you give yourself insulin with, kind of self-explanatory. But otherwise, pens are great, and especially the InPen, where I said, you know, it'll calculate your bolus for you and tell you. The InPen, you can take half doses, like 1 and 1.5 and 2, 2.5, you know, whatever. But you can't really like make the dose any smaller than that, versus the pump where you can kind of make it as small as you want. You can like microdose your insulin. I don't know why you do that. It wouldn't make a difference, at least for me, but yeah. So that's kind of my pros and cons list of the pen. I do miss it. I am glad that I have it in my possession, that if I wanted to like, and I have some insulin cartridges still in my refrigerator, that if I want to switch back, even for like a month or two, just to like give myself a little break, I can. The other thing that's nice about the pen that I'm actually just thinking of now is when you go to sleep at night, it's on your nightstand, versus the pump where it's like tubes everywhere and I feel like it gets caught and I'm laying on it half the time, and that just gets annoying. But we'll save that for my pump pro and con list. My pump pros and cons list, I'm just reading it from the heart. I didn't write it down. So as my pump flies out of my hand. Okay, pro and con of the insulin pump. So this is the Tandem T-Slim X2 with, I always get it messed up. I think it's Basal IQ, the one where it gives you more insulin or less based on what your blood sugar is, which that is obviously major point one, is that it has that ability. So I don't have to think about like, oh, I'm going low, how much food do I need to eat? I more think now like, oh, I'm going low, I can maybe eat like a little something, or maybe I just need to eat a little something. I don't need to like stuff my face, because I know that, actually I think it's Control IQ. I know that the technology has my back, is what I'm trying to say. Which is definitely something that I've noticed is I'm going low less. So I'm eating like less low snacks, that's what I started to say. But I'm going low less because the technology catches me when I'm going low and when I'm going high. So I don't know if you can see this, but all those little red marks are all the times that it was suspending me because I was going low. You can't see when it gave me doses, but you can at least see all the little red. There's one red mark from earlier. Also, I feel like I'm having a great blood sugar day, so that's lovely. It hooks up to your Dexcom, so that's super nice. It doesn't hook up to the Libre, I don't think. Not as of now, to my knowledge. But it hooks up to your Dexcom, so it reads that. That's really great. The InPen app also did that, but it would give you a suggestion if you like put the information in, but it didn't just say like, oh, like my pump will just give me a bolus if I need it. If my blood sugar is like high and it's not coming down, it'll keep giving me little doses of insulin to nudge me down. So that's obviously a huge, huge, huge pro to, wow, for a second I thought, I don't think I'm recording, but I am, thank God. But that's a huge pro of the pump. Now a con is it's attached to you, and that's annoying, but when you don't have to think about diabetes, but you have something attached to you, it kind of makes up for it. And like I say, you don't have to think about it, is like, you know, the Control IQ, Basal IQ technology kind of does the thinking for you. I personally struggle a little with not with the actual pump sites. I haven't had any like bad pump sites. I have had a couple mishaps with the tubes. I was filming a vlog the one day when that happened, but I find that I usually put 300 units in here because I'm very insulin resistant, and there's too much stuff happening.
For what time?
Siri. That just scared the crap out of me. There's a lot happening right now. What was I saying? Oh, I usually fill this up to 300 units and it lasts me about the 3 days. It never really goes over, which kind of like bothers me because I feel like I'm always changing my site like a day shorter. Like I'm doing it every 2 days or every like 2.5, not the full 3 or even like 3.5 days. But I can always just have my doctor write me a longer prescription for changing it every 2 days. I wish it could last longer because sometimes I have a site that I really like and it doesn't hurt and it has great absorption, but I feel like I don't get to use it the full 3 days because I run out of insulin in my pump. Oops, I'm getting a high alert. I'm 180, I'm not taking any insulin because I have insulin on board. It is kind of annoying traveling with the pump, but again, when you don't have to like do the thinking, it kind of makes up for it. So I personally go through the scanners. I know they say like don't do that, whatever, but I've never had a problem with it. I've taken you guys with me when I've traveled before, so if you have questions about that, you can watch those videos. They are linked on my channel somewhere. I'll try and link them below, but I've learned I'm really bad. I say, oh, I'll link something, and I never do. But this always gets flagged at security at an airport or at a concert or something. They're always like, what's that on your hip? And I'm like, it's an insulin pump. And then they're usually like, oh, okay, sorry. But you have to also carry the supplies with you and backup supplies if something happens. So that can get a little annoying. But really, I love the pump. I don't have a lot of negative things to say about it. It's updatable, which is great. So although I did just get the iPhone 14, so I can't take insulin from my phone right now. They haven't released that update yet. I can still see in the app, like everything that I need to see. I'll show you if I can get it right. I can see, I like just looking and seeing when did I take insulin, but I can't take a bolus yet because it says that it's not available, which is okay. And I updated my phone knowing that. I wasn't like shocked when I was like, oh, but I don't honestly bolus as much as I thought I was going to from my phone, partly because you can't I always say relieve. You can't turn off the like notifications. Like if you have a high, you have to turn that off on your pump. You can't like dismiss it on the phone app. But yeah, I updated my phone knowing that it wouldn't work for a time, and I'll just wait till it works and then I'll just start using it again and it'll be great. But I really don't have a lot of negative things to say about the pump. I mean, yeah, I've had a couple of maybe bad sites, but such is life. It otherwise has been really great, really helpful. I do really enjoy, as much as I was kind of complaining earlier about like rolling over it in the bed and stuff like that, because that does get annoying. I do love if I'm like out at a restaurant or even just eating. Actually, here's something very interesting is ever since I got on the pump, I didn't finish my thought, but my thought I was starting to say is ever since I got on the pump, I've been really, really good at pre-bolusing, and part of that is because it's just on you all the time, so it's kind of mindless to just like reach down, grab it, punch in your numbers, and then like wait 30 minutes versus like getting up, finding your pen, putting in the information, taking insulin, blah, 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 blah. It's just much easier to reach down, grab your pump, put the numbers in, take insulin, carry on, wait 30 minutes, and then, you know, go on with your day. So I do like the pump. For now, first of all, I need to tuck my stuff in, my tubing in, because otherwise I'm gonna like get it stuck on a door handle and my site's gonna rip off, and I have a really nice site on right now. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Just like kind of a loose like pros and cons of being on a pump versus being on a pen now that I've been on the pump for long. I haven't yet, which part of me is like, you should have filmed this video in like 2 weeks when you have an endo appointment, but I haven't had an endo appointment since I've been on the pump long term. So, I mean long term, 6 months. My last endo appointment was in, when was it? April? I don't know, April or something, and I had like just gotten on the pump like 2 weeks before, so there wasn't like a clear indicator in my A1C if it like went lower because of the pump. But I have a endo appointment coming up in a couple weeks here, like 2 weeks, that hopefully I will see some results. I actually have to go get blood work for it next week, which means it's like 2 weeks away. Just a mental note for myself so I don't forget, because that would be really bad. But I really like the pump. I think it's putting me in some really good like diabetic habits. It's great just reaching down, pumping in your numbers if you need a little insulin, and not taking out a pen, putting it, like stabbing yourself with it, giving yourself insulin. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!